Hey everybody, it's Golmedex, and welcome back to another Duskmourn House of Horror Arena Direct. If you've been watching these videos, you very much know the drill by now. We're going to be playing Best of One Duskmourn House of Horror Sealed, not my favorite format. Best of One Sealed in the Play Booster era. Can get pretty grading pretty fast. It is super high variance, and we need 6 wins in Best of One Sealed before 2 losses, so we're just crossing our fingers here, hoping for an insane sealed pool and hoping we run against some weaker decks and get some stronger draws here. There is so much that can go well and so much that can go wrong in these events. It's very, very testing on the sanity. So, I mean, it's going to be like that for me anytime that it has taken the 4th run to maybe get there. So we'll see how we open up here, hopefully get a great deck. We're definitely playing red. We have Chainsaw, Fear, Missing Out, Enduring Courage, so I don't see any universe in which we're not playing all 3 of these rares. Ideally, if our white is good, we get to play Boros, where Enduring Innocence is a massive draw spell. The rest of our rares are complete and utter garbage, though, which is kind of a bummer. But the red spells are really good, and it's nice to have a bunch of rares clump up into one color to make that... to make it really easy to end up with a deck with a lot of power in it. All we have to do is just play red. So for our multicolored stuff, we've got Disturbing Mirth for Rakdos. Since we're definitely playing red, that could be a direction, going Rakdos. Rite of the Moth is okay as a role filler in Orzhov. Oblivious Bookworm is actually very, very good, but obviously as a green-blue spell, it's going to be a little hard to run here because we're so incentivized to play red. So that's kind of it for the bombs. Didn't look like a ton of colorless fixing or anything like that. Checking out our individual colors. White looks actually quite solid. Double Seized from Slumber and Sheltered by Ghosts for incredible removal. Pretty good creature count here when you count the grand entryways. They all work well with the Enduring Innocence. Solid little combat trick. White looks perfectly fine. Some kind of little Boros build could be interesting. The Innocence is really good in this deck. It triggers off of Survivor, Cheerleader, Unsettling Twins, and all 3 grand entryways. So even off the white alone, Enduring Innocence works well. Maybe even Living Phone actually makes the cut here over the Gold Healer. It's a pretty high variance card. You could absolutely miss on it, but every white creature we have except Savior the Small is drawable off the Living Phone. We can draw Unsettling Twins, Endurance, Cheerleader, and Survivor. So if our secondary color has plenty of creatures with power 2 or less, this might actually be playable. And ideally, again, because our red is so good, that would mean if our red has a bunch of power 2 or less creatures. What do we got in blue? This is a pretty fine tempo color. It's kind of low on like solid playables here. I mean, we'd play the Fear of Isolation, Tunnel Surveyor, Megalodon. I guess we have to play the Peeper. It's really filler, but we play that just to meet playables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards total in blue I really want to play. Some of them are pretty good. Again, Meat Locker, Stay Hidden, Unable to Scream. I like those a lot. Fear of Isolation plays really well with rooms like the Meat Locker. So if we have a second color with a lot of good rooms and enters effects, this could be quite powerful. In the blue alone, it just looks okay, because we only have 1 room for it, 1 ETB creature. It's not that great with Unable to Scream, Stay Hidden, Stay Silent. So yeah, Fear of Isolation looks fine here, but could be really exciting with the proper support in another color. Black. Wow, okay, black, that's a color. Red has Enduring Courage, Scorching Dragonfire, Chainsaw, Fear Missing Out. I mean, we're just playing red. Double Inside Out to go with some cheap creatures is nice as well. The white gives us some of those cheap power 2 or less creatures. So the Boros looks pretty exciting to me. The blue also looks fine because the blue spells are pretty good, but we only have room to cut like 6 cards here, and we have to cut a lot of the like blue filler. So I think I'm more pumped about the Boros than the red, and yeah, I mean, black's just not a thing. Yeah, red looks very good here. We're definitely a red deck. Soul Rager's not great. Razorkin's not great either, but it's at least like playable filler. Same with like Boiler Builder's Ripper. If we have a secondary color with enough good spells, that gets us to the point where we can cut Boiler Builder's Ripper, Rip Chain Razorkin. That's all that I really need to cut. Everything else at least does something. So these would be the first. These are like cut no matter what. These are cut if we have enough room to cut them, and if our second color is really good, we can get to the point where maybe we cut like a Norn and a Hand that feeds as the last kind of filler cards left in this deck. but red is definitely our best color by far from what we have seen. And last but not least, we have green. Last but not least is an accurate statement here. Green is certainly better than the black, although I do prefer our white to our green. It has good removal, and the Enduring Innocence is a huge card draw spell. Green has basically no removal. Technically, it has ways to blow up artifacts and enchantments, but that's it. And no real bomb power of its own. It's just got good fixing for trying to do something 3-color, Double Centipede, Moldering Gym, and threats around every corner. So very good fixing for playing a slower kind of 3-color deck. But I think our red is really well supported to just playing a 2-color streamlined aggro, where we run the white alongside it. This is every colorless card in the sealed pool. We're basically not playing any of those. This is every multicolored card, so we're not playing any of those. We're just Boros. Okay, at least it's a simple deck build today. Let's get rid of the ghost versions of the cards. Now we're just on the actual deck here. Definitely no ley lines. It is kind of rough to open up the double ley line. I'm not a fan of that, but nothing I can do to control what I open up. Part of the sad part of sealed. Unlike draft. I might not be cutting Norn just to keep this curve really aggressive. We're definitely cutting the Soul Rager, probably Cult Healer, so Living Phone has more targets, because we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 targets out of the red as well for it. It's pretty exciting. Savior is pretty mediocre. Creature count is 14 plus triple entryway. So even cutting that, it's still 16 creatures when you count the entryways. But I guess now we're on like cut a spell. Cut a spell or two instead of more creatures. At this point. Living Phone, again, a card I would cut out of the vast majority of decks, but this is a deck where it could potentially draw Fear of Missing Out or Enduring Innocence. So I think it like borderline makes the cut over the 3-mana 3/3 creature. Although maybe we play the 3-mana 3/3 over like Norn, but I guess if nothing else, Norn gives Living Phone another target, which is cute. Yeah, I have to cut something here. Weirdly enough, like how good are we at Delirium? We're okay. We have we have 2 artifacts that can end up in our grave. Chainsaw almost never will. Yeah, 2 is super low. And then how many sorceries? We have like no sorceries. Very little manifest for getting lands into the grave. Yeah, Delirium's just not really going to happen. So Seize from Slumbers are almost like strictly better than Impossible Inferno here. Where instead of dealing 6, we're straight up destroying something, and Seize from Slumber might be able to get castable for 2. Yeah, I mean, we cut Inferno before Seize from Slumber for sure. Could maybe cut a land here, because I've got all the cheap stuff, but I also have some decent mana sinks. I guess these are like 3 mana things to do. There's not that much when it comes to mana sinks in this deck. We've got the Razorkin if we flood out. That's certainly something. That's kind of it, though. No other like expensive rooms to unlock or anything. No really expensive activated abilities, just 1 mana abilities. But I have some really solid... Well, I have 1 really solid 5-drop, 1 really solid 4-drop, so we do want to make our way up the curve. But I think I still like 16 lands. This is just definitely not like a 15-land aggro deck or anything, which I have done before with a really low curve. This is not that low. This looks like the deck. This is probably right around the best build we can make. Maybe, you know, a 3-mana 3/3 over Norn is worth it, because Norn's ability very rarely does anything, really. So it's just kind of a 1-mana 2/1 that can't block, just kind of a worse veteran survivor. But technically has some cute synergies potentially. Makes it harder for them to block like an Unsettling Twins, because then we could recast it, get more value, but there's not a lot of Norn synergies in here. It's very cute with manifested cards, right? If they ever block a manifested card, you can cast it even if it's a non-creature. So if we manifest any of these and have the Norn on board, again, it's more cute than anything. Vast majority of the time, Norn's a 1-mana 2/1 that can't block, and that is not very good. So Norn, it might be better to just play a 17th land over Norn. Might be better to play the filler 3-mana 3/3, the filler 4-mana 3/4, and really try to get that to survive as best we can. Our deck isn't super good at doing that, though. Not a ton of other options, though. here. Again, 13 creatures and 3 grand entryways is 16 creatures. We'd still have a fine 15 creature counts if I cut Norn for a land or for a non-creature spell like Jump Scare. Yeah, I'll actually cut Norn for the Jump Scare. I feel like that card has impressed me a lot. You can always use it as the normal combat trick where, well, I need to keep my creature on board, so I'll make it so my 2/2 eats yours. But also late game, sometimes it just finds the kill. Your opponent's at 5 and you just jump your 3/3 or something like that. And it has been known to happen. All right, deck looks solid. It's nothing incredible. It's nothing super spicy, super unique. And it's a pretty simple deck build. It was a pretty obvious direction to go, I think, with the way that our sealed pool is, but we're just going to play all our strongest cards, play the most synergistic deck that we can to utilize these cards to the best of their ability. They are all just great aggro cards: Fear Missing Out, Enduring Courage, Chainsaw, and Enduring Innocence. So we just play a nice, streamlined 2-color aggro deck and hope for the best. Cross our fingers here, hop into that gameplay, and see how this deck does. Here we are for game 1. Unfortunately, we're on the draw. We do start with a turn 2 Ragged Playmate, and we have the Horde Caller at the top of our curve. If our opponent's getting aggressive, we have a Seized from Slumber to clear out their first tapped creature that we're scared of. There's an Unsettling Twins. Alright, this is looking really solid here. We don't have anything turn 3, but turn 4 Twins, turn 5 Horde Caller if we find our mana. Glimmerlight onto the Glimmer token, attack for 2. Our opponent is on 3 colors, green, red, and blue. And there's the Manifest Dread. Yep, their curve out is working a lot better than ours, plus they're on the play, so obviously kind of by default going to be on the defensive here. Spineseeker Centipede for more fixing and mana. This has been a wonderful start for our opponent. Go to combat, send in the Glimmer token. Really, really don't love trading a spell for this Glimmer token, but I'm so stuck on mana. If I don't clear this out, and then I miss a land drop next turn, I am very far behind. So I think I kind of have to cash in the Jump Scare here just to buy us some time for if I miss land 4. And we'd rather cash in the Jump Scare than the Betrayer's Bargain or Seize from Somewhere, especially than the Betrayer's Bargain, because that would make us sack the Playmate to do that. We'd have to 2-for-1 ourselves. Okay, we did hit the land drop, luckily. If I had the top card of my library revealed and I knew for 100% certainty I was about to hit a land, I probably wouldn't have jump scared there. But again, things would be so bad for us otherwise. Could get blown out off of a flip up here, depending on what this is. I feel we have to take it. We have enough instants that we could be holding up during blocking that I shouldn't be trying to block a face down until I actually have at least a little bit of mana up in case something crazy happens. Technically, 2 2/2s blocking a 3/3, that would be a good deal. But if that's a face down 4 mana 4/4 Cautious Survivor, that would be awful for us. I could try blocking with all 3 creatures, but again, all that open mana and a face down card, really never know what you're going to get. Okay, instant enchantments. I need a creature, land, sorcery, artifact. Any of those card types would get me there for Fear Missing Out. I do actually like holding on to Fear Missing Out until it's the last play, because then I do get to draw the card for free. I don't have to discard a card, draw a card. But I am looking for land 5 here. I mean, I've got a viable 4-drop without playing Fear Missing Out, or I can just hold up the Betrayer's Bargain as another option. Yeah, could actually probably just send in the team and hold up a Betrayer's Bargain. And that'll be fine. They block Playmate here. We got Delirium. And that's kind of exciting. we got Delirium. So now Fear Missing Out gives us extra combat steps, but I still do have to discard a card when I play it, which I don't want to do here. They've got a single creature up. I mean, play this, hold up a Seize from Slumber does feel real good. I'm gonna do it. I'm playing FOMO. Goodbye, Razorkin. Find Acrobatic Cheerleader. I'm at 15. I'm gonna not hold up Seize from Slumber. It can only kill the attacking face down anyway. Okay, they've got Dragonfire for FOMO. Sad day. But because Fear Missing Out replaced our Razorkin with a Cheerleader anyway, like it replaced one viable spell for another viable spell, we're not down a card at all. And it dug us closer to land 5 for Horde Caller, which is really important right now. Because we would have been really far away from it, apparently. Oh, dear lord. Yeah. This is Duskmourn. We gotta be ready for bombs, and there's a Zimone they've just picked up. They don't have the mana for her this turn, though. But as soon as they hit land 5, they can play Zimone, land 5, get a 5/5 Fractal, and a 1/1 for only 3 mana. Pretty brutal. We hit the Horde Caller mana. Now, there is an alternate line here. They didn't do any surveilling or anything, so they're drawing a card blind right now. They need that card to be a basic land for the Zimone to pop off this turn, which is why I'm just going for Horde Caller. Well, not a basic land, but any land. Sadly, it was a land. So, brutal. Get a little punished for that. They have the Unable to Scream too. Come on. What I was going to say is I'm going for that play because if we hold up the Bargain or the Slumber and then they just don't hit a land, like we're not going to cast anything there anyway. If we play the Horde Caller, they don't hit the land, and then I get to hold these up this turn for when they hit land 5, we'd be in a really, really good spot. I really think that was worth the gamble. But now, I mean, they've just resolved the Zimone, so we're actual miles behind, and there's literally no plays. All I can do is kill a 5/5 and stare at their 2/4. They don't have the mana to cast both of these. If I did, I probably would try to hit for 5, but we just don't have anything to do here. And if they immediately draw another land, we'll probably have to kill Zimone instead of the Analyst. They did immediately hit land 6. Alright, well. They attack with this, I destroy target tapped creature, and I have the 2-mana Bargain up for if they play something that ramps and puts another land on the board. Okay, is there any reason to not just tap out and kill Zimone here? I really don't think so. They could have the counter unless I pay 2, so maybe we sack Horde Caller, but I have the banish thing in my deck that can exile any non-land permanent. That could exile Unable to Scream, and then we super win. I could wait till I untap. How do I undo this? There. I could wait till I untap, so I have 6 mana up, going for the 4 mana thing on Zimone, but there's a lot of things that can go wrong, right? I just draw any spell I want to cast as well, and I'm in a really bad spot. I only have 1 card in my deck that can blow up Unable to Scream, right? Yeah, I have a single card in my entire deck that can blow up Unable to Scream. I'm gonna do this and play around the 2 mana counter. just in case. It feels more likely that they will have the counter unless I pay 2 than that I will draw my 1 card in the whole deck to save Horde Caller from Unable to Scream. Okay, that's actually a good draw at this point because of the Delirium. Probably our best 2-drop left. I have a lot more creatures than my opponent, but I really don't love my position because they just manifest Dread 1 time with Analyst and they're really far ahead. Okay, goodbye Hand That Feeds. I will ditch that for something else because while that is like a fine draw at this point, we have much, much better to dig towards. Like again, Sheltered by Ghosts, Enduring Innocence, Enduring Courage. Jesus Christ, Unnerving Grasp is good here. Destroy my token, get a 2/2, draw a card. They have Glassworks in there too. I'm just getting outclassed every single game this entire Arena Direct. Oh. Dragonfire, Centipede, Glassworks, just all the stuff. Double Unable to Scream. What can you do? Yeah, I'm trying my best here. I really don't think there was anything that changes the course of this game at all, and right now we are centuries behind. At least we milled those, I guess. Oh. Overlord of the Flood Pits has arrived. Alright, GG. I should have opened a stronger deck, because we're taking 6 in the face. 0-1 heading into game 2. Here we are for game 2. Unfortunately, on the draw again. I do love that we have double rare in this hand, the Chainsaw being particularly great. Skullcrab is a bold option from our opponent. Going for the mill kill. It's going to help Fear Missing Out's Delirium ASAP, which is pretty spicy. Ooh, that is so good, that Enduring Innocence. I'm going to go Cheerleader first, towards getting a flyer on this board. And again, if we Fear Missing Out as the last card, it's possible to draw a card without discarding anything. Okay, now attacking in with a Cheerleader and having it survive is certainly more difficult. I could still do it if I Chainsaw the Surveyor. This feels like a really good turn to play Enduring Innocence. Not massively worried about Skullcrab milling me out, and if I am, then I can Chainsaw it next turn alongside a 2-drop. Roaring Furnace. Probably blow up Cheerleader here, because Innocence still has its ability. Okay, blow up Innocence. Fair enough. Like, it is a lifelinker, still. Okay. Draw a card off Ragged Playmate. Can also draw a card off of FOMO. I could play Playmate and FOMO this turn and do the unblockable Fear Missing Out combo, which is always fun. I only draw 1 card per turn off Innocence, though, so I kind of want to just play one of these cards and Chainsaw the Surveyor. $25 cards. Milling a little more. They mill at least 1 more time, activating Steaming Sauna. Yeah, I suppose the mill plan is concerning enough. I can Playmate Cheerleader and that'll give it flying and get it through. Unlock the Sauna. Our opponent's drawing 2 cards a turn for the rest of the game, but basically we are as well. Grand Entryway, Elegant Rotunda. That's actually pretty spicy here. They could double block and kill one of these, but that's fine. The other one remains. Chainsaw gets better. We draw a card off just playing this in the first place. Yeah, that's really good here. They're going to kill the Playmate. All right, no fear missing out Playmate shenanigans. Oh. No, they're changing their mind. Kill the Cheerleader. Nope. Yep. Okay, kill the Cheerleader it is. But I hope this is not Heroes, because we did not save the Cheerleader. They've got 6 mana now in their Jeskai deck. Okay, I've drawn enough cards now. I can just ditch a land to fear missing out, and I'll still be fine. This is 3 to equip. Yeah, let's FOMO plus Razorkin here. I don't remember what flash creatures in this format. I don't think there's any beefy ones. They're going to vanish the Playmate. Okay, because of Summoning Sickness, I'll just put that on bottom. I probably have better cards to find. Trapped in the Screen, goodbye Razorkin. FOMO's the choice, sure. Sauna draws a card. Sheltered by Ghosts. If they ever play a blocker, that'll be kind of huge. I guess I could shelter their Steaming Sauna here. Or they're trapped in the screen. It doesn't sound horrific, but currently I really expect them to have removal up. And if I cast Sheltered by Ghosts on something and they just respond with a removal spell, that's very bad. So I'm not going to play into the removal. I'll save the Sheltered by Ghosts for probably next turn. Yeah, if I tried to Shelter by Ghosts anything there, they respond with Vanish from Sight before it resolves. I don't get to exile anything, and I get 2 for 1 pretty hard. I'll redraw Razorkin. Now they're tapped out of removal, but if I Shelter... this is the other problem. If I Shelter by Ghosts the Roaring Furnace Steaming Sauna, and then they do draw the removal, like, they can definitely pay the ward, so they get it back, and then they get to unlock both rooms again, right? So they can recast Roaring Furnace on me. Sheltered by Ghosts might just be really bad in this matchup. Of just the draw 2 a turn all removal deck. Does get much better once they're much lower on mana like this. Okay. They still got something instant speed. Hopefully this prompts removal on one of these. And gets them tapped out again. Like, how likely are they to have opened like 10 removal spells in the sealed pool, right? They have to run out eventually. And then we can shelter. Oh my god, we just get a kill on a Fear of Immobility? Sure. If they're at that point, I really don't expect removal in their hand. They could still have the counter spell. They could have the counter unless I pay 2 that they couldn't do right now. They do look like a really controlling blue deck. Yeah, I'll give it another turn. I'll shelter by Ghost next turn. Oh, Arena Directs, I swear to God. Roaring Furnace, Steaming Sauna, copy number 2. They are going to have to find a way to kill me before they draw their whole deck. Even if they do still have more removal to try to keep up with. Alright, show me another removal spell. Yeah, what do you expect? I'm gonna lose my mind. There's Razorkin. You know what's nice, though? It actually would have been better for our opponent to let the sheltering thing resolve. Because then they get to kill my creature and get back a locked Roaring Furnace and kill my other creature as well. So that actually played okay. I technically have a lethal crackback if I do this, and they do not hit interaction. Oh my god. I feel like my opponent is like, I don't know, it just feels like every opponent in the Arena Direct. Where here I am, I'm just opening packs and trying my best, and my opponents are just getting handed decks. It's like the picture of Adam and God with the finger, except he's got a deck box just handing it down to my opponents. Double Roaring Furnace, double trapped in the screen. Oh, wow. Dragonfire. Just the perfect synergy Jeskai control build. Alright, well, probably Scorching the Fear at this point, since we didn't hit another creature. I didn't Scorch it yet, because like literally any creature in the deck trades for it with the Chainsaw, plus the Turn Inside Out. But like, I mean, now, I guess we're Scorching it. That's actually so good for me. I will take that deal any day. I will Manifest Dread. Thank you. Thank you. Draw a card as well off of the Manifest Dread. Again, that's just an actually exceptional deal. Yeah, even if they Inferno this. Especially I could turn Inside Out and Manifest again if I want. Then I can Seize from Slumber the Fear of Imposters. I don't think I have a lethal crackback. Yeah, and I guess the Turn Inside Out card has to trade with Fear of Being Hunted if I turn here. Or I have to seize the fear of being hunted. Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna turn this. They exiled Locker Room to bounce my Manifest card. Well, I'll pick Seize from Slumber then, and then they put that back in my hand. If they do bounce it, I'm gonna Seize. So it looks like I really want this to stay on board instead of trading, and that gets them to Bottomless Pool the face down, and I get a Seize from Slumber. Okay, cool. I get a Seize from Slumber. Oh, boy. Now there's Living Phone. I can't not draw the card, which is slightly awkward. Living Phone can put all the cards back in my deck, at least. It doesn't have to draw the card off of its ability. Okay, here, cool. I'll play this. Hold up 5 mana Seize from Slumber instead of getting 2+1/+1 counters. Yeah, I'll hold up the 5 mana version of Seize from Slumber. Just gives me the option of using Living Phone's ability, but I don't have to if I don't think the cards are good enough. Those are good, but I have 7 cards left. But again, if I hand that feeds, I draw another card. I mill so much if I Unsettling Twins here. It's astronomically bad. I'll take the hand that feeds. Still. I might be stopping after the 4th Arena Direct. I don't know if my heart can take this anymore. I don't know if I'm doing the full 5 I planned on. Okay. Prop Room Dazzling Fader genuinely does nothing, so I'm happy to see that at least. Okay. I know my next card is Playmate. Sure. Chainsaw actually goated right now. Please stop killing things. Please. I have 3 creatures on board. You're at 2. And I can make hand that feeds unblockable with Playmate because I didn't buff it. I am begging for just like a win here. Draw another card. Okay. So hand that feeds already has Menace, so I feel like it's probably better to just send all 3 here than try to unblockable it up. Oh my god. Almost milled out. Almost milled out against the double Steaming Sauna opponent. Oh my god. I am so happy I killed that crab, by the way, early. We would have gotten completely destroyed without Chainsaw. Okay, opponent's deck's a lot cooler than ours. But also just tremendously lucky to get double Roaring Furnace Steaming Sauna. Like, that already kind of builds the deck all by itself. Just play that in a bunch of removal, play a really controlling deck. Our opponent's got a really, really nice build. Like a really nice sealed pool as well. And they played it out pretty well. And like, I don't know if there's much else they could have done. Like, I don't know from their perspective if they knew how well Fear of Imposturing my creature would have went for me. But I mean, they would know that I still get a 2/2 to try to block their 4/2. And I have Enduring Innocence on board, so I draw the card off the trigger. Okay, I think that was probably their one, like, misplay, right? Like, even with the information on board, they probably shouldn't have Fear Imposters and countered my thing, because that gave me so much value of the Manifest plus Enduring Innocence trigger. That was, like, the one misplay. Yeah, I think the only thing that really worked against them here was they did draw just a completely dead card. The Dazzling Theater Prop Room, I think, just... You generally shouldn't run it because you just can draw it in positions like this and it doesn't do anything. But outside of that, that was a really lucky game for us that we had the chainsaw going the whole game long. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had nearly enough damage before just ending up milling out because they had just so much removal for all the threats we played throughout the game. So much interaction there. Okay, well, I guess I'm still playing a 5th Arena Direct because we didn't lose that one. So, 1-1, heading into round number 3. All right, well, this hand is rough. 2 double red spells in it. We're on the draw for the 3rd time in a row. On the draw means we've got time to hit these red sources. If we don't, we still have Living Phone turn 3. And if I don't draw a single mountain 4 cards, 4 draw steps deep, that's just, I mean, GG. Like, that's pretty bad luck, so I think we take that that slight gamble there. Because anything we draw, except for like a plains, is a good draw, right? Mountains are good draws. Any red or white spell that isn't double red or double white is a good draw. I'm not going to fear being hunted the Enduring Innocence. That's a super bad deal, because this card just sits there and gives them value over time. I already hate my life. Our opponent's on the play with Boros, and they started with Ghost Vacuum and Enduring Innocence. So just 2 incredible value plays that it's going to be very hard to compete with throughout the course of this game. But we'll see. Still got to do my best. I mean, there's booster boxes on the line. And we've already used our 1 loss of Breathing Room, just round 1, right out of the way. So if we want any hope at getting some boxes, we have to win this game. But, again, it already looks like... My god. Ghost Vacuum, Enduring Innocence, Toby are the first 3 plays from my opponent. Okay. Alright. So, Fear of Being Hunted is still terrible. It trades into Enduring Innocence, and they still get all the card draw. Razorkin's pretty bad, only a 3 toughness blocker. Courage also just not the greatest, but then we have its ability going on for the rest of this game. Razorkin is our only blocker big enough to trade into the 4/4. I guess Fear of Being Hunted can, but it's more mana efficient later. We could maybe Fear of Being Hunted and hold up Seize from Slumber next turn. So if I want to go like Razorkin to trade into the 4/4, and then Fear Being Hunted, hold up Seize from Slumber next turn, that's a line. I don't think trading into the 4/4 is a particularly good plan, though, so I'm just going to line out, or run out the Enduring Courage, take the 4, and block everybody else. Really sad part about Enduring Courage is, like, if they kill it, if it dies at any point, they can just Ghost Vacuum it before it comes back from our grave still. So, we're not going to trade it as willy-nilly as we would otherwise. Probably shouldn't trade anything particularly excitedly, because anything being in the grave is good for our opponent with Ghost Vacuum. There's Percussionist, draw another card off Enduring Innocence. Declared 0 blocks this turn because they have Trial of Agony. So 1 creature can't block, the other dies. We obviously let the one that has a death trigger die then. If I let Enduring Courage die, they can exile it from grave before it comes back, and that is very bad. Well, we drew a hand that feeds. It's not nothing. Take 8 damage here. Just Glimmer Lights. They already drew their card this turn off Innocence at least, so it doesn't draw a second one there. No equip. They need 1 red mana up. They're holding 1 red mana up for the +3/+0 trick, I guess. I mean, I'm not attacking here, so... I guess they can do that in response to me casting a Seized from Slumber on their 4/4. This game already looks impossible to win, but if the last card in hand is Turn Inside Out, which is the only thing that makes sense for not equipping Glimmerlight, then this is literally impossible to win. Because my best line is to like Seize from Slumber something while they're mostly tapped out, and then they just get to Manifest Dread and draw another card when I do that. Right, the 4/4 is going to become a 2/2, and Innocence is going to draw them a card at the same time. Oh man. It's +3/+0 as well, so the Horde Caller just trades off and dies. I mean, this is definitely Turn Inside Out, but we have 0 good play against that card. Arabella just one-shots me. Yeah, I'm taking 7. Technically, if I fear of being hunted, the friendly ghost. Actually, no, Razorkin has reach. Razorkin has reach. If I attack with fear of being hunted, I'm putting the friendly ghost in grave, which also lowers Arabella to 4 damage off the trigger. It's probably a better block than, or a better bet than trying to do it on blocks. Guess I could have Razorkin post-combat. I don't see any universe in which they let Arabella die, though. Because Arabella would be dying without even killing my fear of being hunted. Oh my god, it doesn't matter what I do, because they can just pop Ghost Vacuum now. Yeah, never mind. Ghost Vacuum gives them 2 more 1-power creatures, and then Arabella triggers for 6, even if not a single creature damages me. Oh! They went to combat. It's too late now. Ghost Vacuum sorcery speed for the 6-mana thing. Are they gonna just show me they still had all these? Their last card in hand also finds lethal? It probably doesn't matter. I don't see how we possibly win from here, even if they don't kill me this turn. But they did just miss lethal. Potentially. Okay. Actual, factual missed lethal. But again, we're just dead next turn. Yeah, I mean, there's the oops, but like, I'm at 1 against 32 life. Like, what am I gonna do over here? You're fine, opponent. Don't worry about it. It happens. Because, yeah, they just Ghost Vacuum back Arabella, and her trigger kills me. Do an Arabella and a Toby, and they drew a Horde Caller. Ay, ay, ay. I'll just play the best play I have. Then die to all the nonsense. We might still be in this if they never exile Arabella. No, they're drawing infinite cards right now, but like if they just exiled Arabella in our end step and then Ghost Vacuumed right now, we'd have 1 turn to draw a removal spell for Arabella or die next turn guaranteed. Maybe they're just want to watch us suffer at this point. Make it as excruciating as possible. Yeah, we top decked the mountains, so if they Ghost Vacuum exiled Arabella in our last end step and then popped the Ghost Vacuum this turn, we would be dead after we pass right now. Unless I top deck it off of the Razorkin. By it, I mean the removal. Okay. Alright. I spoke too soon. If they went for the Arabella thing, we'd still be alive. We shoot the Arabella before they can attack with the Ghost Vacuum. And the longer Ghost Vacuum sticks around, the more locked in the Ghost Vacuum victory is. I actually have no good attacks here. Because my only attack is Razorkin, but if I attack with Razorkin, they can Ghost Vacuum a flyer. Like a friendly ghost. Get it through. Okay, turn Inside Out. It's pretty good, but if I do that, I don't get to hold up Scorching Dragonfire. I don't think I can justify doing that right now. I think I have to wait a turn. Which again, the longer we wait, the more locked in the Ghost Vacuum victory is, because the more creatures it produces. This is so excruciating, because we're still like 90% chance to lose this game. But because our opponent missed lethal, like it just keeps going. They don't know that it can exile their own grave. Oh my god. They're just exiling instants from my grave now instead of creatures from their own. Okay, and then they pop it. No Arabella, no creatures from their own grave. I mean, again, I'm just gonna lose, but... Oh, wait, I'm dumb. Ghost Vacuum gives them all flying. They don't need to hit specifically flyers. Never mind. Yeah, we were always dead to Ghost Vacuum at any time. It is still kind of wild they did not exile the Arabella, though. I guess they just did not realize they could be Ghost Vacuuming their own cards there for value. Alright. Razorkin blocks one of these. Dragonfire clears out another one. I need to draw one more way to deal with a flyer to still be in this game. We should Dragonfire the Living Phone because that one has a death trigger. Turn Inside Out here on blocks. Seems fine. What are my outs here? Sheltered by Ghosts, Jump Scare, Betrayer's Bargain, Chainsaw. I have 4 outs. Okay. Yeah, I've got 4 outs, but they have to be one of the top cards of my deck. It has to be one of those 4 cards. Chainsaw to kill the fear of being hunted. Banishing by Ghosts to kill the fear of being hunted. Or the Jump Scare to have the 2 blockers up. Here we go. That's not one of the 4 outs. Yeah, if we hit any of the 3 removal spells we could have hit, the Banish, the Betrayer's Bargain, or the Chainsaw, we kill... When they go to combat, we kill 2 of them. Or if it's a sorcery speed removal, we play 1 and then kill the other at instant speed. Kill 2 of them, and then Razorkin blocks the Cheerleader. And if we hit the Jump Scare, we kill that, jump this, block, kill both of those without losing a creature. That's a shame. That is a shame. Our opponent's missed Lethal Stumble could have genuinely cost them the game if we were pretty lucky here. I mean, we'd had to have been insanely lucky because they're on the draw 2 every turn Enduring Innocence nonsense. At this point, I can still pretend that I have 2 Dragonfires. I'm done. I'm done. I give up. I'll see you tomorrow for Arena Direct 5. 1 and 2 is the final record for this deck. Another look through the sealed pool. I really don't think there was basically any other way to build it. We built what we could. We played as well as we could. And it's just not enough to get there. That is sealed for you. You gotta pull well, you gotta build well, you gotta play well, and you gotta draw well. But more than that, you also have to not run up into insanity as well. Our opponent's deck was Enduring Innocence, Toby, Ghost Vacuum, Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. What on earth am I ever doing in that matchup? Losing is the answer, and we are 1 and 2 for the final record for this deck. I really thought it could do better than that. It has solid rares of its own: Chainsaw, Enduring Courage, Fear of Missing Out, and Enduring Innocence. But we didn't see them super duper often, and we really saw our opponent's gas today. So that's all it takes. Just 2 losses, and you are completely out of the events. So 1 and 2 for today. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in a recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.